John Baetz with Kansas Pregame here out at the Sharp Performance Top Prospect event this morning at Kansas Wesleyan's Graves Family Sports Complex. A beautiful day, beautiful facility. Here with Sharp Performance CEO Jake Sharp, the man responsible for organizing this event and a series of events called the Combine Series, all with the goal of helping Kansas high school football players get an opportunity to cash in on a scholarship if they'd like to play at the next level. Jake, tell us a little bit about why you do this, what you've got going on out here, and what your expectations are for the day.
Well, John, we're very excited about what's going to take place here today. We've got college coaches from all across the Midwest, sports media, Kansas Pregame's here today, which is excellent, so we know our guys are going to get the coverage they deserve. Really, the Combine Series is an opportunity for high school football players to come out throughout the spring and summer to showcase their talents in front of sports media and college coaches and get noticed so they can get recruited, right? So at Sharp Performance, we're all about getting athletes to the next level, and we felt that there was an opportunity to provide a platform for these athletes to get noticed and ultimately get themselves in front of colleges so they can earn those college scholarships. I think today's going to be an exceptional day. We have more talent than we've ever had at the top prospect here today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens the next couple weeks for these athletes as far as the college recruitment standpoint.
Jake, one of the all-time great players in Kansas high school history, coming out of Salina Central, went on to play at the University of Kansas in a time where the University of Kansas football program had one of the best runs of success in the history of their program. Jake, did you have opportunities like this when you were in high school, and what was the recruiting process like for you?
Well, there really wasn't a lot of opportunity, John, other than going to individual college camps, which was available and is still available. And I think a lot of athletes need to take advantage of those opportunities. You need to go to at least, in our opinion, 3 individual college, half-day, one-day camps, so those coaches know that you're interested in them. I think the landscape has changed quite a bit and almost become saturated in a way where athletes need to be selective about what they attend. If you're attending a combine or a showcase, and at least if we're in the state of Kansas and Kansas Pregame's not there, sports in Kansas isn't there, it may not be the most time and money investment, the best bang for your buck that an athlete could get. So I think it's very important that you be selective. And to answer your question, no, there was not opportunities like this when I was coming out of high school, and I wish there were. Coach Leonard, our head football academy coach, was in the same position I was at Shawnee Mission, and it was difficult to get your name out there, difficult to get noticed unless you were in a big metro area. So we're very, very happy and very proud of being able to put this opportunity together for these kids.
That's a great segue. You wouldn't be able to do things like this if it weren't for volunteers with members of your team. Tell us a little bit about the people that make this thing possible.
Oh, man. I don't think we're going to run out of film. So there's so many volunteers. Our athletes secretary, Michaela, Coach Leonard, like we talked about, our head football academy coach, John Yu, all of our media, all the coaches that are here today. We're calling in about half of our coaching staff on favors, come out and help these kids. So we have, college coaches, high school coaches from around the state of Kansas and the Salina area. And then, like I said, our football academy, we have about 7 full-time staff. So we're pretty much able to cover every position. But there's so many athletes that need to get noticed. We can't just have 7 coaches out there. We need right around the 15 mark. So.
And your family's a huge part of this as well.
Yes, absolutely. So my dad, Rick Sharp, God bless him, behind the scenes, sets everything up, takes care of all the things that I don't notice. My mother, she's always working the books. So it's definitely a family operation, and it's a blessing and a curse, but we wouldn't be here today without it. So I got to thank the Sharp family and my family a million times over for making it possible.
I think you're going to get in trouble if you don't specifically say something about Kale.
My brother Kale, yes. So my younger brother Kale, he's basically our performance specialist at Sharp Performance, takes care of all the data, all the analytics, height, weight. He's a numbers guy. I am not. So basically we have a great team of people who we put them in positions to be successful and do what they do. And my brother Kale is amazing, amazing benefit to Sharp Performance and the athletes that we're able to help and train.
All right, thanks a lot, Jake, and thanks for putting this on. On behalf of so many high school football players in the state of Kansas, I'd like to thank you for putting this together and giving these kids an opportunity to get a scholarship to play college football.
We couldn't do it without you, John. I really appreciate you being here, and we look forward to an amazing 2022 this fall.
All right, thanks a lot.
21 football season.
21 football season.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
Thanks. here with Ryan Wallace, the Director of Football Recruiting at GoPowerCat.com. And Ryan makes his way to events like this across the state, across the Midwest, to check out potential K-State recruits and kind of see them outside of pads and in an environment where you can see them display some skills that are certainly football specific, but also kind of shows their overall athleticism and some of those kind of things. There are more of these events now, certainly, than there have been in the past. And I guess my question to you would be is how have events like this impacted recruiting, and do you like chasing these things all over the country, and what are the pros and cons of things like this?
Well, I think these camps have become really popular, especially even with the last year with COVID. Because, college coaches haven't been able to get a lot of these guys on campus to do their own camps that they usually are able to do in the summer. Now, that has happened now, but last summer that wasn't the case. And so being able to have things like this that Jake Sharp and you have put on, it allows kids to get out and be seen by people like us that can then go and kind of spread the word through social media about who kind of looks good. And the reason that I like to do this, I think it's important on Friday nights to see kids in pads and see the level of toughness and how they look in certain schemes and things like that. The benefits of this is that you can see a kid like Tyson Struber from the 8-man level go against some 6A or 5A guys, and you can say, it doesn't matter level of competition for some of these guys. They just have that it factor. And so that, I think, to me, is what I take away from the combines most. Sure, testing and stuff is great, but being able to validate huddle tape with how you see a kid in person without pads, and then being able to further validate that come the fall, that really puts the whole recruiting process. You can put a stamp on a player and say, this is kind of the level that he deserves to be at and should be at.
So social media has changed the landscape of recruiting. I think personally you see that time and time again, kids that market themselves better have a chance to raise their profile. Talk a little bit about social media and the impact that it's had on recruiting in the modern era.
Social media is huge. I mean, you go through the list of college programs now that have not just maybe a director of recruiting, but some sort of director of media. And their jobs are to kind of scour the interwebs and find kids. And you hear stories about Nick Saban and some of these SEC staffs that literally have interns that are on social media 24/7, not just to find kids, but they're also monitoring what those kids are saying on their profiles. And so you're constantly kind of watching and as much as we can in our industry, try and give tips and advice. One of my biggest pieces of advice, and I think you're starting to see more kids pick this up now, is make sure you have your name in your Twitter handle. You and I run into that all the time. Hey, there's a kid that we really like, but his name is John12568, and so you can't find him. And if we can't find you, and this is our job, there are college coaches out there that aren't going to spend near as much time as you and I have to try and dig some kids out. But social media has become huge. And again, I go back to COVID. When coaches weren't able to get out and see as many kids, it was relying on social media to take a video of yourself standing in a door frame, putting your arms out to check your wingspan, getting out on a field and having your dad run time your 40. If social media wasn't around, I don't know what would have happened in COVID. It's less about mail, less about standard VHS tapes that you and I remember from back in the day, kids sending those out, and it's more about how can we find you on social media and how can we exchange quick information through direct messaging about getting you on campus.
Absolutely. Great stuff, Ryan. Thanks for taking a little time with us.
Thank you so much, John.
John Baetz with Kansas Pregame. I'm here with Kayson Graham and Calvin Hemmer of Salina Central, both heading into their senior year. These guys are both Sharp Performance Football Academy trainees. They've been working hard this summer to get better. We're out here at the Sharp Performance Top Prospect event, and they're out here showing off their skills, trying to get some recruiting interest and get some scholarship opportunities out there. Salina Central struggled last year, had kind of an off year. Coach Sambo's done a really nice job with that program in his short time there, but lost a lot of close games last year. Kayson, tell me what it's going to take to turn around Salina Central's fortunes this fall.
I think we have a lot of dudes coming back next year. Last year we only had 3 or 4 good seniors that started, and we have a lot of returning starters this year, and I think we're going to be a good team.
Calvin, you guys work every Saturday with Sharp Performance Football Academy, and you do some other stuff at Jake's got a couple different gyms here in town. Tell us a little bit about the football academy and what it does to complement what your coaches are teaching you at the high school level here at Salina Central.
Yeah, David Linner is a great coach. What we're doing is explosive power. So, at school you're doing a lot of heavy lifting and, speed training, but this is more explosive. So, on that block or on that tackle, you can really, get through your hips and hit someone.
So these events like this, the Top Prospect event and the Combine Series, are meant to give kids an opportunity to get scholarships. I get the impression, I've seen you guys at several of these now. It seems like you'd really like to play at the next level. Kayson, let me start with you. Tell me a little bit about your recruiting process and kind of, what your goal is for playing at the next level.
I have about 10 to 12 colleges talking to me, mostly NAIA and JUCOs, some D2s in there. But I haven't got any offers yet, and my goal at the college level is to start and be a dude.
Calvin, kind of a similar question. What do what level do you see yourself at collegiately? You play defensive line, and you might be a little bit undersized for defensive line at the next level. So what would you transition to as a position, and kind of what are your goals in that regard?
Yeah, I'd play linebacker at the next level, or like a sniffer position, fullback, something like that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get recruited for defensive end, but I love playing it, so it's fun in high school.
Have you attended any individual camps at different schools over the state? I'll start with you, Calvin.
Yeah, Iowa State reached out to me, and so I went up to their camp. It was a really nice day, and we competed. It was fun.
And same question, Kayson. What camps have you been to?
I've been to one camp. It was a SWASU camp, a team in Oklahoma, and I talked to some few colleges and got some good looks.
All right, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck the rest of the day.